Hello, Murray County employees. This is Toby Anderson from Arista Financial Group. Hope everyone is having a great summer. Hey, wanted to take just about 5 to 10 minutes here. So first of all, let me kind of set the stage for who we are and what we do. Arista is the advisor on your retirement plan. So we administer it through Lincoln Financial, who I'm sure you're familiar with. We kind of oversee the whole thing and make sure you've got the best options at the best cost to help you achieve your long-term goals. I work in the individual financial planning practice at Arista, so I work with individuals on a day-to-day basis, helping them, figure out what their goals are, and then put them on a path and a plan to hit retirement, and then to live the lifestyle they want to in retirement. Thought it'd be a great idea now here, given the fact that we're in mid-July. It's been the craziest year that any of us have ever experienced. Nobody predicted everything that was going to go on, but I wanted to take just a few minutes and kind of put some things in perspective, give you a little bit of outlook, going forward, and hopefully just help you, be comfortable with where you are, and then of course at the end offer any assistance that we can do to help you feel more comfortable, reach your goals, achieve those things. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick, and we're going to go over just 4 slides that I think kind of put some things into perspective for everybody. So this is really the first, half of this year. It's the tale of 2 quarters, right? You can see on the bottom, those are the investment returns in the first quarter, followed up top by the investment returns in the second quarter, and they're basically polar opposites. Nothing worked in the first quarter, right? Stocks, the blue ones you see there, were down significantly, everything over 20%. Yet in the second quarter, it got not all those returns back, but most, and that was pretty much true across the spectrum of any type. And you couldn't hide from the virus, right? The markets couldn't hide from the virus. Unless you were sitting in cash, earning almost nothing, and a little bit of U.S. bonds, everything else was negative when everything went crazy. And yet, if you just kind of stuck it out, which is what I want to show you here on this next one, everything kind of started turning, right? So if we think back over the first half of the year, January 1 comes around, everybody's happy, unemployment's at an all-time low, kids are in school, nothing to worry about. Then all of a sudden the world changed, coming into mid-February, and then the pandemic came along, and everybody that's listening to this, lives got changed, right? Schools got canceled, digital learning became the common phrase. And with all that uncertainty, the stock market just said, we don't like this. Boom, everything went crazy. And, this one was a little different because if you look at some of the numbers and the dates there was a 34% decline in about 4 weeks. That was completely unprecedented. That's the fastest decline of that magnitude in the history of the stock market. So, but then comes March 24th, little bits of good news started coming out, social distancing had worked to some degree and everything. And the market was looking for reasons to start getting back on track, and it slowly but surely did. And then from, March 24th to June 30th, almost a 40% uptick, 21% gain, literally the best quarter, since 1998. So the point here is, as long as you didn't make a bad emotional decision, right around the middle end of March, you recovered most of your money. And if you're looking toward retirement, that's the whole point that we preach all the time about having a long-term horizon, long-term goals, and please, please, please don't make emotional decisions purely out of uncertainty, right? I mean, if you've looked at your statement at the end of the first quarter, you probably panicked a little bit. When you looked at it again at the end of the second quarter, you probably had a big sigh of relief that you didn't make any, significant changes, stuck to it, and recouped, a lot of that money. But it was a whipsaw to be certain. So these next 2 slides are kind of shift from what's happened to kind of where we're going. This is not a time when we're going to get into politics, even though the slide says politics and markets. But markets don't like uncertainty, right? And with that, the political stuff that's going to happen with the election down the road, that's going to be the top news story. It's the top nonsense on social media. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's opinion is right. Everybody that disagrees with you is wrong. We all know that good stuff. But the reality is as it relates to your investments and thinking long term, the market really doesn't care about politics. This chart just shows the various, scenarios of who's in the White House, who controls the Senate, who controls the House, and in general, there's not one scenario that's significantly better time after time for the market. It plugs along, regardless of how that all turns out. There's never a superior market return based on, certain persons or parties in the White House or in the Senate or, whatever it is. I will say, the market tends to focus on policies rather than people, which is what it says there on the third bullet point. Policies will be a big factor. Obviously, the biggest one I see as being maybe a little different is if there continues to be needs for additional stimulus type packaging, those need to get pushed through. And when you've got gridlock in Washington, that becomes a little bit more challenging, to say the least. But don't let what's going on in politics weigh heavily on your decisions about your retirement investments. Stay focused long term. Trust that it'll just kind of play itself out. Yes, there will be volatility, right? Yes, there's going to be significant ups and downs going forward. We're not out of that. But I want you to think of volatility like little paper cuts, right? Every time something bad happens and there's a decline, it's like a paper cut, right? And they can feel bad, they can hurt, they're no fun, but those cuts tend to kind of heal themselves as long as you give it time. The problem is if you make emotional decisions at the time of those cuts happen, then they can become permanent scars that it's really hard to recover from if you're making some emotional rash decisions. So try to stay calm, seek advice, ask for help, but stay focused on the long term, which is our whole goal here for you. As you think toward retirement, don't make those emotional decisions. And here's why. The last slide I want to show you. If you're in a balanced portfolio and if you're in the Maury County retirement plan, chances are very good you're in a very good balanced portfolio. A lot of those are target dated based on when you go to a retirement. And all this is showing is that if you have a long-term focus, look at the percentages of times you win, right? 5, 10, or 20 years, you got a 99% chance of having positive returns over any 5-year period since 1970, 100% on a 10 or 20-year basis. And even the shorter time frames, tend to work out as long as you're not making emotional decisions in the middle. So stay focused, think long-term, ask for assistance. We are here to help in any way possible. If you have any questions, I'm going to stop sharing here real quick and close out with just a couple of things. So I'm going to leave you with 3 options that we can help with. If you just want to have a 15-minute discussion, look over your retirement account, ask any questions you have, make sure you're allocated the way that you should be based on your age and time horizon. There's a button at the bottom here for you to click on to get access to my calendar. Doesn't cost you anything. This is complimentary just because of our relationship with Maury County. We just want to help make sure you're on track. You're taking full advantage of what is arguably the best retirement plan of any school system in the state, and headed the right direction to hit your goals. The second thing is some of you fall into the category that you're much closer to retirement. You're 5 years or 5, 7 years out. And this has caused you a lot more uncertainty than someone that's 10, 20 years out. If you want to have a discussion about potentially some different options to help mitigate the downside, reach out. We can have some discussions. We've added some great options inside your plan that can help hit those goals. And then third is there's always those of you that are new to Maury County or came from other districts and you have some legacy assets sitting out there. Reach out. Let's have a discussion on what's the best option there. With as good as the plan is at Maury, a lot of times it makes sense to move those from the old place into the new one or protect them in a different way. So please reach out any way we can help. So just to conclude, our goal at Arista is to lead people to financial security. That's what our whole team gets up every day trying to do. My goal of this video and of the information we share in here is simply to give you some information to help you take the next step for yourself and your family to reach financial security. And we are here to help in any way possible. Don't hesitate to reach out and schedule some time to talk through some things. We are here to help. So enjoy the rest of your summer. I'm sure y'all are thrilled that y'all have the smartest school district in the state that doesn't even start till Labor Day anyway, with all the other ones scrambling to figure things out. So enjoy the time that you have left this summer as you plan toward next year. Stay safe and let us know how we can help. Thank you.